Okay, I'm going to be checking out a Barry Gibb interview that was requested. It's Barry Gibb, the Bee Gees interview on Sunday night. This was a few years ago, but this was requested just a few days ago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click screen record. 1 second. In 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's get started.
Over recent years, Sunday night has formed a pretty close bond with the big brother of the Bee Gees, Barry Gibb. We've been there through some pretty tumultuous times with him, particularly when he was wrestling with the loss of his beloved twin brothers, Robin and Morris. Together they became a musical juggernaut, rolling through the decades with hit after hit, changing with the times and delivering classics that will never grow old. But despite scaling to the top of the world, Barry still counts the simple years growing up in a little town outside Brisbane as the happiest times of their lives. Barry invited Sunday night's Rani Sadler on a deeply personal tour of those defining places of the heart. It's an emotional trip down memory lane, and of course it comes with a great soundtrack.
How can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round?
They were three brothers who together became one of the most successful and prolific pop groups in history. A monumental career that began here in a tiny beachside town north of Brisbane.
We had the best, greatest childhood any kid could want. We never loved each other more than before we were famous. You know, that's the only way I can think of it.
Yeah, that was here.
Yeah.
This is it.
Now, the last remaining BG is coming home to remember. Barry Gibb hasn't been back to this Redcliffe house since he and his brothers were kids.
Wow.
This is your old house.
Yeah, I think this may be the original driveway too.
He's been invited in by Val and Noel Sullivan, who've lived here for 34 years. They always dreamt this day would come.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Bee Gees' house, Barry Gibb.
Pleasure to meet you.
Wow.
Hello, darling. How you doing?
Thank you.
This way, Barry.
Have a look if you come in, Barry.
Yeah, this is Mum and Dad's house.
Morris and Robin and I shared a bedroom. They had bunks. And I was on the opposite side of the room. And I think you could probably swing a cat in it.
Because where all the cows used to walk around.
I can see there's a lot of newness here.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Wow.
Whose room was this when you were here, Barry?
Well, I think this is part of the lounge.
Oh, this was all part of the
The
lounge.
side of the house was the lounge.
Yeah, Val's brother Billy put the cupboards and that in here. This was, you should have seen it when we came here.
Despite all they achieved, this is the place they remember most fondly.
We went to Our Lady's Help of Christians Catholic school, about maybe a half a mile walk from home. And those crisp early mornings in 1958, I don't think there was anywhere like it in the world.
Wow.
They'll be gone. Memories are fantastic, you know?
Some
You see
people
things
just
like
don't
this.
move with the times.
No, but it's very vivid for me.
Well, you ought to know. You've come from nowhere to somewhere. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
And back to nowhere again.
The Gibb family arrived in Redcliffe in 1958. Barry was 12, Robin and Morris were 8. They'd emigrated from Manchester, England, where all three had had repeated run-ins with the law.
You know, we come from alleyways and bleak weather most of the time and not really knowing anything like this. So we fell into paradise, you know. We got off that ship and we didn't know what hit us because we didn't know where we were going. Mum and Dad had an idea, but we didn't know.
How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really mean to love.
They shared everything. A quirky sense of humour, a growing passion for music, and also difficulty resisting any opportunity for a bit of mischief.
Tell me about some of the things you boys got up to in Redcliffe.
We were shoplifting. I mean, Woolworths was, bric-a-brac, anything, whatever you could lift, They had these great Scotch penknives. We lifted about 3 of them. And then one day it hit me, we've got to stop this.
Yeah.
We've got to decide now what it is we want. Do we want to really be a famous pop group, or do we want to be known as thieves? And I took the 3 penknives and I threw them into the water.
So I reckon my guess is about here.
About here?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's 3 penknives out there somewhere.
It was a defining moment. Music took over.
We took a chair and we put it out in the street, and we sat in the street and played. That's how crazy it was. We just thought, well, we're going to sing whether you like it or not.
They got their big break when a local DJ heard them singing between races at Redcliffe Speedway.
First time we'd ever heard them ourselves come out of speakers.
So this is pretty much where your career began?
Yeah. And people right where we're standing would throw coins.
Really?
So we'd pick up the coins. Yeah. And I think maybe we took home about 5 shillings.
The Bee Gees, Barry A, the leader.
Within weeks, they had a recording contract. They became child stars with their own TV show.
Love and kisses and heart.
Then their first big hit. Written in less than an hour, it would ignite a lifetime of success.
Where is the sun that shone on my head? The sun in my life, it is dead, it is dead.
Righto, chaps, let's have a check. Blacks, check.
Barry was 19, the twins 16. They moved to England and churned out the hits.
Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones?
But brothers can be brothers, and sibling rivalry surfaced. 2 years in, arguments over lead roles saw Robin walk out.
Once fame kicked in, once it became a name that was sort of the same in each country, and it was like being swallowed up, we didn't get on as well.
15 months later, they got back together. Their time apart inspired more mammoth hits.
Cold and flu season's here. You got questions, I've got answers.
Lonely days, lonely nights. Where would I be without my woman? Lonely days, lonely nights. Where would I be without my woman?
The way we rehearsed it last night.
Okay, we'll go straight again.
By the mid-70s, they thought their career was over, until Barry found a new sound.
Nobody gets too much love anymore.
They made it bigger than ever, with 6 consecutive number ones.
It's hard to bear when no one to love you. You're going nowhere.
Million records a week. It was just unreal. We lost all sense of reality.
Over 4 decades, they had 70 songs in the charts around the world.
Chat talking, so misunderstood. Chat talking, you really know.
Including 19 number ones.
Staying alive, staying alive. Staying
And it really was a great time. When people say, oh, no, that wasn't for me. Well, I'm telling you, I had the time of my life.
But the music stopped suddenly in 2003. Morris died of a heart attack on the way into surgery. When I first met Barry and Robin, it was 6 years later. They'd just announced plans to continue as a duo.
This is something we created when we were kids, and
we can't stop doing it.
Yeah, it's our legacy, and it's Morris' legacy as well.
When I was small and Christmas trees were tall.
But they never toured again. After battling cancer, Robin passed away in May 2012. And when I caught up with Barry
So sad.
4 months later, he was struggling to understand.
I've seen this part.
You all right?
Yeah.
This makes me really emotional. Mm.
The only way I can actually deal with it is through music. My greatest regret is that every brother I've lost was in a moment when we were not getting on. And so I have to live with that, you know. And I'll spend my life reflecting on that. Is that we were, you know, there were many times we had conflict, but this was, it was just really distressing that every time one of them passed, it was during a moment when we weren't getting on. And I don't know why, but I'm the last man standing.
Why do you have to be a heartbreaker?
Over the next year, Barry fell into a deep depression. He'd lost all his brothers, but by his side was wife of 45 years, Linda.
When you were in a dark period, it was Linda who pulled you out.
Well, yeah, I began to sort of become a potato. You know, just sitting in the lounge and flicking channels, and I was doing that all day long. There was a lot of music going on inside me, but I didn't really feel like it. You know, it was just a very, I would say it was a dark period. You know, I wasn't doing anything with myself. And she walked into the lounge one day and she said, "You know, you got to get off your ass and do whatever it is you always did. You know, with or without someone else with you, just get off your backside."
We're going to attempt this one tonight. It's a brand new song. We hope you like it. It's called The Home Truth Song.
He took Linda's advice, got off the couch and recorded a new album with the help of sons Stephen and Ashley.
I ain't the poster boy you made me. You won't ever chain me down. I've been to heaven and I've been to hell, and I've been living underground.
This song is just pure ambition. And defying and sort of saying, you know, I'm going to go on doing it whether you like it or not, you know. And I think my brothers would say, get on with it.
Singing a home truth song.
I'm much more philosophical than I might have been last time we spoke, you know. It was still very, very soon after Robin had passed, you know. Ridiculous. I'm the eldest, you know, it just shouldn't have gone down that way. But none of us have any control over it, you know. As long as you're walking and you're singing and you're playing, that's okay.
Barry plans to return regularly from his home in Miami to Redcliffe, where he feels closest to his beloved brothers.
I think they're probably spiritually right with me, you know. This was so intense for us as kids that I can't imagine them not being here.
No sign with me, you win again. So it's time we do nothing but compete.
Rani Sadler reporting. Barry Gibb has just finished recording a new solo album which will be out next year. Over recent years, Sunday Night has formed a pretty close bond with the big brother of the Bee Gees, Barry Gibb. We've been there through some pretty tumultuous times with him, particularly when he was wrestling with the loss of his beloved twin brothers, Robin and Morris. Together they became a musical juggernaut, rolling through the decades with hit after hit, changing with the times and delivering classics that will never grow old. But despite scaling to the top of the world, Barry still counts the simple years growing up in a little town outside Brisbane as the happiest times of their lives. Barry invited Sunday Night's Rani Sadler on a deeply personal tour of those defining places of the heart. It's an emotional trip down memory lane, and of course it comes with a great soundtrack.
How can you
Okay, so I just replayed the ending a little bit. I will say this. I've seen bits and pieces of this interview before, but this one had different parts in it that I hadn't seen. It just makes me emotional, you know, because all of them were so talented, and I couldn't imagine being, you know, basically the last man standing. I really couldn't. And I mean, when he said that he fell into a deep depression, I can understand that. I mean, you lost two, not just your brothers, those are your best friends, you know. I mean, pretty much their whole career. I mean, they did some solo stuff, right? But they were pretty much together almost their whole career, you know. It's just amazing. But thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified for new upcoming reaction videos. My Facebook is at Have a Very Nice Day, and as always, thank y'all for watching. Keep on rocking. Peace.